Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Iyun as part of the Greater Yeshiva YouTube. Today I want to analyze Maseches Challah, Perek Daled, Mishnah Beis. Mishnah Beis is really an explanation of Mishnah Aleph, defines what is considered min b'mino. I mentioned at the beginning of the Maseches Challah, there's only 5 species of grain that are chayiv in Challah, right? Wheat, barley, spelt, oat, and rye. Now, if you have a half of a dough that's right half of 5/4 kav of wheat and 5/4 kav of barley, this Mishnah says is min amino. They do not combine together to mechayiv you and chal if you make a dough together. The only thing is minimum amino is considered wheat is only joins with spelt. Barley happens to join with everything except wheat, and the other 3 minim join with each other, right? Spelt and rye and oats, rye and spelt, they all join together. Of course, they also would join with barley also. And the only thing that would join with wheat would be spelt. Now, where are we getting this? Why is wheat and spelt considered the same and barley not with wheat? So the Gemara says in various places that Sa'or and barley is considered Meichel Behema. Now, it doesn't really mean it's Meichel Behema because there's plenty of people who eat challah with lots of barley in it, and you're going to say they're animals? Now, I'll tell you the truth. My personal opinion is that I hate challah. I wish there was a minhag in Klal Yisrael to serve slow cooked, what are they called? Spare ribs. Slow cooked spare ribs. You take some wine, take some honey. It's very good. Slow cooked. That's really what we should be eating. We're on Shabbos supposed to eat real good food, expensive food. We're eating challah, the worst of the worst meat. Barley's animal food according to Gemara. Doesn't mean it's literally animal food. It means that it's inferior to wheat. Wheat is considered a higher class grain than barley. It's also spelt. If you know, some kids are gluten free, right? A lot of them will not gonna have barley bread. They'll have spelt bread. Spelt is also an expensive. It's more of a refined taste. So wheat and chitim and kusmin are considered sort of an elevated level of grains. Barley is a lower level. I wouldn't say it's Meichel Behema, but compared to wheat, it's considered Meichel Behema. And also oats, they make Cheerios out of oats. How great, is Cheerios? You serve Cheerios at someone at a wedding banquet? No, you wouldn't. Rye bread. Rye bread, you go to the store, you serve rye bread with your Sunday night dinner of leftovers from Shabbos. What else do we have? We have oats, rye, right, and barley. So really, spelt can go either way. Spelt really could be used with barley and the other minim. Spelt is flexible, but the highest quality is chitim, is wheat bread. The best breads are usually made out of wheat. So this is important because when it comes to challah, as I mentioned, the whole point of challah is when you're having a nice meal, you're having honorary bread at a meal, big enough amounts, big enough sample size to make a meal out of. You're making a lot of bread for a wedding, for a bris, to meet the president of the United States. I don't know, to meet King Charles. I don't know. You're having a nice meal. So the point is, when you're having honorary bread, which is very noble and very esteemed, you want to present the first part to Hashem. That's mitzvah of challah. The Kohen is acting the shliach of Hashem, but we makabel that from you. You're giving it to Hashem. You're giving thanksgiving to Hashem. So there's different levels of class in food. You can go on it. They can go to a restaurant. They give you an airplane meal. Which is like basically the same food they have in prison. So there's different levels of food. You can go to a restaurant and they cook you up a nice steak on their private grill. So that'll taste probably good. So there's elevated levels of food. So here, even when we're talking about barley bread, right? You're gonna mix barley and you're gonna mix some oats into it. Still, you could make it look nice. They do make fancy. They call it Ezekiel bread. I don't know. They have a lot of different species of grains in there, but there's bread of all different types of species of grains, and you could make it in a steam, but it'll never reach the level of wheat. So every category has to remain by itself. When you go on an airplane, there's first class, there's business class, there's premium, right? So all of those are above honorary positions, expensive seats. Double the price of economy. Some are 4 or 5 times. Premium is usually double. First class, business class could be 3 or 4 times. First class could be 5 or 6 times the price of economy. So you're at least, when you're making honorary bread, you're making a big enough sample size for this wedding, for this banquet. Um, Barley bread is premium seating. Obviously the wheat and the kusman. The wheat, let's say, is first class. The kusman is considered to be business class. You can go either with the first class, or you can go either with the premium. It's flexible, the kusman. However, the chitim is the first class. Kusman is flexible, and the other three are on the bottom level. But they're still premium. They're still premium compared to other grains like rice and things like that. So that's why, out of all these species, these are important species, but they have different levels. There's a hierarchy, and based on this tier level, that's to determine min b'mino, min b'she'eno mino, because it has to be based on value. It has to be min b'mino. It has to be in the same price class, the same value class as what it's mixed with. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.